It's been very eventful since we last saw you. Now you are, I don't know, are you a felon? Or what happened? You've gone through a
Listen,
lot of stuff. Things have gotten crazy.
September tried to take me out with COVID and then the arrest, but I'm still here and I'm going to keep fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor. And I'm going to keep saying how disgusted I am with 45, that he would intentionally try to expose people to COVID-19 by going on a road trip to wave at what he calls his fans. It's unacceptable. And we have so much more work to do to build the kind of democracy that we all deserve.
Absolutely. So much work to do. But as we start this interview, I got to ask you, what does your protest sign say today, Representative Scott?
What does my protest sign say today? No justice, no peace. KNOW. I get people who live where I live here in West Louisville, or who have been out on the front lines for justice for Breonna Taylor, who are definitely clear that Mitch has to go, but they're also very clear that Amy needs to chart a much stronger path toward racial justice. And so, what I talk to people about is, how can we work to get her along that path, along that journey? For me, I'm very direct and honest and clear about that. Like, you cannot arrest me and my child. You cannot, for 130 days, tear gas people and use militarized equipment against them, and then expect us to support people who've basically been silent about that. And so what I say to people is, let's push her to be the candidate that we can support. And I believe that's possible. We have less than a month away from Election Day, and people have been doing that work of really stepping up and saying, this is what we're crying out for. This is what justice looks like for us, that we cannot keep having the foot of government and law enforcement on our necks. And we need to know clearly how you're different from McConnell. I'm clear about it. So when I talk to people, I'm very clear. There's some clear differences. I actually am not talking to anyone who is on the fence about thinking about voting for McConnell, to be honest with you. They just want to make sure that McGrath is centering our cries for justice. And so that's fair. It's as it should be, because over and over again, Black people are asked to take one for the team and cast a vote for people who may not even ever mention us during their campaigns. And we've seen that right here in Kentucky. So, we keep showing up, we keep casting our votes, but we're now at a point that I think everyone can agree that there are a lot more, especially young Black people, who are speaking up and saying, I don't have to give my vote away. You have to earn my vote. And I have to know that once you're in office, that my needs are going to be a part of your platform. So I believe that's where I am right now. I think part of it is, I'm very clear that my energy has to be spent on seeking justice for people who are murdered by police. My energy has to be spent on people who right now are terrified that their utilities are going to be cut off by the Louisville Gas and Electric Company because they were laid off during COVID. My energy is not going to be spent trying to convince someone of our humanity as Black and Latinx people. If I have to convince you that we need someone in office, need the person out of office who has allowed children to be in cages or who has allowed families to be separated, then maybe this isn't a time for us to have a conversation. Have that with someone else.